Hello traders, welcome back to another video. Today is a Forex Q&A. So I asked for questions on my Instagram, there it is. So yeah, I just wanted to answer some questions which you guys had. I would have asked them on YouTube, but we asked them on Instagram. They have that little question feature. So then we have actually got loads of questions from the followers, and now we're going to answer them for this video. So I'm going to pick some of the best questions that I feel most people would actually benefit from, and ones which are most commonly asked, and then I'm going to go through them today. Hopefully some of the answers either help you out, you learn a few things about trading or lifestyle, and then you can actually maybe make some profit from this. Okay, so the first question is, what is your biggest losing streak? How did that impact you as a person? What did you do? And this is very, very interesting because obviously as a Forex trader and someone that trades full time, you're going to have losing streaks. And I'd probably say my biggest losing streak was actually when I was starting trading. Although you do get lucky and you do win some trades, overall I was losing for like probably a year, at least a year I'd say, from 2019 to 2020. And at the end of 2020, that's when I started kind of making money. It wasn't loads of money, but I was making money. So you could say a year. I did have certain profitable weeks in that year period, but overall every month was negative. And I'd say that is kind of the biggest losing streak I had. I'd say recently the biggest losing streak was probably December. I think I lost like, I don't know, 2 or 3, 4 trades in a row, something like that. And it's just bound to happen. And I had like a really good year in 2021. Most of the trades we were winning, I'd say we're winning 7 or 8 out of every 10 trades that I was actually taking. Then December happened. I realized that I was on this losing streak, so I actually started risking less. And then now we're in January. It was perfect month. February, perfect month. And now March, we're up decent amount in March, like a couple percent. And that's good going, Any profit is good in the Forex markets. Okay, the next question, which I actually get quite a lot, is how do you work on psychology and wins and losses emotions? Okay, so I'd say you've got to kind of treat the losses the same as your wins, because if you're winning a trade and then you get all big-headed and you think you can't lose, you start over-risking. You start risking more of your capital per trade. Then you hit a losing streak. All those profits that you've made from the winning streak have gone, and then you're back to square one. You might even be in a loss after that as well, because you're revenge trading. So basically, let's say you're on a losing streak and you notice that you're on this losing streak, you could just start lowering your risk. Traders will often say, if you're on a winning streak, increase your risk. But let's say you'll just keep increasing your risk. What happens if you then go onto a losing streak? Then you lose all your profit you've made. I'd say either, if you're struggling in the market, lower your risk, because if you're not finding the perfect trade setups and you're still taking trades, then why risk the full amount per trade pretty much? I just wouldn't recommend doing that. But I usually risk 1%, 2% max per trade. And if I'm using a smaller account, I'd use higher risk obviously because of the capital. But bigger accounts, like I'm trading funded now, the FTMO, I'm using like 1% risk, 2% maybe. And then I'm just scaling in on each position to maximize the profits. But the way to work on the psychology is to have a trading journal. I use the software called Edgewonk. I've made a dedicated video to it on my channel, and it's kind of a software where you can import your MT4 statements and it kind of fills everything out. You can backtest in there. You can pretty much store all your data and journals on your trading. You can see all the stats and everything. It's kind of like my FX book, but you can customize it all. You can put your charts in there. You can backtest and store all the data in there. It's kind of a better version of my FX book, and it is, I think, like $150, $160 a year, but it's definitely worth it if you're making decent money from your trading. Someone said, what trading style are you using? Your charts look very similar to SMC. And firstly, I don't trade SMC. You see them on Instagram, they're promoting 1 to 200, 1 to 300 risk to reward, and if that was the case, and they're making 200% per trade, they would be billionaires. Even with £1,000 account, if you're making 200% per trade, you're going to be rich in a year. In a couple months, you're going to be rich. If you put it into a compound interest calculator, making 200% per trade, let's say you even have a 50% win rate, that 1,000 is going to be quite crazy. If you see here, compound interest calculator, here we go. So let's say you have £1,000 in the account. Let's say you take 10 trades monthly. And with that 10 trades, you're winning 5, so 50% win rate. So that means you're making the 5 losses a minus 5%, the 5 winners a plus 1,000%, so 995% in a month from 10 trades with 50% win rate. You know, some of them even claim to have a higher than 50% win rate. And let's test it over 1 year. There we go. Calculate. So look, that's how much you'd have in a year. And you see this and you think, are they really legit? Are they really catching 1 to 200s? And that's why it's kind of weird when people say, oh, do you trade SMC? Your charts look like SMC. Do my charts look like 1 to 200s? Do I trade the 30 second? Do I trade the 1 minute time frame? No, I don't. I just trade very, very simply. I trade, you know, a lot of people just overcomplicate their trading. You just have to pick set confluences, back test those set confluences, you know, even if it's support and resistance, even if it's a specific indicator. If you have good risk to reward, you will be profitable. Doesn't matter about your win rate. If you have a good risk to reward, you will be profitable. Let's say you make a 1 to 5 on a trade with a 50% win rate or even a 30% win rate, you're still profitable if you hold to the 1 to 5 target. And yeah, my style is pretty much, you know, every trader technically has their own style because no trader will trade the exact same as another trader because that's pretty much impossible. No one has the same sort of mindset or view of the markets as anyone else in the markets. So this is kind of particular to each individual, but I'd say my style is quite basic. There's no point of complicating it. I have a couple of confluences per trade. I take a few trades per week or a few trades per month. But overall, you know, from the last year or so, I'm consistently profitable. You know, even the Signal Group, we've last year averaged 19% per month. And you know, you have months like December where we only made 7%. Then you have months like May where we make 35%. So, you know, it's all about risk to reward, sticking to the plan. If you lose a trade, don't revenge trade. If you win a trade, don't up your lot sizes. So that's kind of my plan. My style is quite simple, and obviously it's personalized to my own trading, to how I view the markets and how I've built it up over time. Have you ever considered passing paid challenges on FTMO? Well, if you watch my recent video, I actually did just pass the FTMO with 1 trade, or 2 trades technically. But yeah, go check that out on the channel. I'm going to hopefully go for the max FTMO, you know, the $400,000, and then I think you can get that scale up plan if you make 2 or 3% per month. Because you think 2% on a 40 grand account in a month, that's $8,000 in 1 month. Yeah, that's very, very good going. And if you just put in a couple weeks or couple months of your time to actually get that funded account, instead of just trying to flip a £100 account, then, you know, you're pretty much sorted. You make 10% or 5% for a few months, well, you're set for the whole year or even a couple years profit-wise. So yeah, I am going to start using the FTMO. Demo accounts recommendations, good, bad, yes or no. And I'd say if you're starting to trade, definitely use a demo to get used to it and then move to live as soon as possible. Because once you actually start trading for the first time, you won't even know what to do. You won't really know what a stop loss is. You won't know what risk to reward is. And if you're going straight in with live money, and then you also have the psychological effects as well of trading live money, it often can just be a disaster. So I'd say demo for like a month, maybe 2 months while you're getting used to trading. You're watching YouTube videos, you're buying courses maybe. You know, courses are good. Would you rather go through all these YouTube videos to find all the content you need, picking out certain things? You know, most trading courses that people sell probably will teach you the basics. And for a beginner, that's what you need to know. You need to know the basics. And you know, most courses, some people have really cheap courses. You can just buy them, learn the basics as a beginner. This is a beginner, by the way, not like an advanced trader or someone who's been trading quite a while. Just to teach you the basics, you know, maybe support, resistance, when price moves, the different sessions, and all this basic information which you can find on YouTube. But having it in that one place is quite handy for a beginner trader. How to grow a beard? Well, interesting question, because I don't know, it just happens. It just grew, and then I just kept it. And I think half of my comments on my YouTube are actually about the beard, so So yeah, might as well keep it. Where do you know where to take profits? When you're taking profits, what I personally do is target areas of reversal. So let's say, as an example, you could just target like an imbalance fill. So when prices fill that imbalance, you could potentially see price now come off of that area. So that could be a good area to target. Or you could say, I could target the next resistance area. When price gets that level, you take your profit. And there's always a chance that price could just go skyrocketing past your target, but you want it in an area where you could see price come down in the opposite direction or go up in the opposite direction from that area which you're actually targeting. How do you know when you're getting consistent with your profits? Well, if you link to like my FX book, then you can see each month. You might start with negative months, but that's fine. And then you'll slowly start seeing the profit come in, and then that's when you know, obviously you're making consistent profits when it says profit, profit, profit for a couple of months. Do you focus on pips or profits? I actually focus on percentage, because percentage is kind of like universal. Pips doesn't matter. Someone could brag about making 100 pips, but if their stop loss is 200 pips, I mean, it's not really a good thing, a good achievement, is it? Profits as well, it just also depends on your account size. Let's say you're a beginner trader, you're a young trader, you won't be making profits of a 40-year-old trader, and then you'll start comparing yourself to them, and you're getting like bad habits, you'll start risking more, and it just isn't really great. But yeah, percentage is kind of, you can use it on any time frame, because let's say you make 10% on a £1,000 account, you would have made 10% on a £100,000 account, because it's exactly the same. You would have just adjusted your lot size, adjusted your risk for the account size. So it's kind of universal by using percentage, and that's when you know you're getting there in trading, when you start to think, I'm not caring about the profits, I don't care how much money I make, I just want to improve my trading, I just want to make a certain percentage goal each month, instead of having, I need to make $5,000 per month, I need to make $10,000 per month. You should be like this instead, I want to make 5 to 10% per month. And that's a good amount to make in trading, especially even really good traders make probably 5% in a month or even less. And it's just, that's very good returns, especially if your account is very large. How much did you start your first trading account with? I actually started with £700 back in 2019 I think it was. So 3 years ago I started with £700, flipped it in the first week to 2,000, withdrew 1,000 and then blew it. So overall I was still profitable in my first week of trading. I made £300 profit, but I could have had 1,300 profit, and yeah, that account went to zero. How do you keep your mind positive? You just got to kind of think about the journey and the destination as well. I mean, it's all good thinking, okay, I'll be happy, I won't be sad once I'm profitable. But it's such like a gradual thing. It doesn't happen like overnight where you're suddenly profitable. It's kind of like a slow and steady process. So you kind of got to enjoy the journey, you kind of got to enjoy trading. And if you don't enjoy it, you'll just be miserable. You'll be like, why is it not working? I might want to quit. I can't seem to make any profit. And if this is the case, then trading probably isn't for you. If you don't get excited to actually learn, you don't get excited when you start seeing progress within your trading. And this is why, I'm always positive in my trading. If I lose, it doesn't matter. It's part of the journey, part of the process. And yeah, this is part of the reason why I'd say I'm probably successful. I enjoy trading. I do it pretty much every hour of the day. If I'm not filming videos, I'm trading, I'm backtesting, I'm journaling. It's kind of, my whole life revolves around it. So that's good that I enjoy it. Doing something I enjoy for a living is obviously everyone's goal. And yeah, you just got to keep up with the exercise, spend money on things you enjoy doing, spend money on things that will actually make your life better. Let's say better food. Money is obviously worth spending on. Health, let's say you build a home gym like I've done, it's worth spending the money on. But let's say you're just spending the money on clothes and materialistic things that you think will make you happy, it most likely won't. But that's why I say I'm positive most of the time, pretty much all the time. I don't really know when I'm negative. What was your turning point in your Forex journey? And I'd say this was when I actually started taking it seriously. The first few months I was just trying to make quick money. Then I realized the big traders in the industry aren't making 20, 30, 40, 50, 60% per month. They're making 5 to 10% per month. So I'm happy making 5 to 10% per month. And the way I actually did this was actually when I started to take less trades. So like now, I was in a trade this morning on gold. It got stopped out. It doesn't matter. Monday's trade hit the target. So we're up for the week. Why would I force the trades now? You know, we're already in profit. Tomorrow's NFP. I can just relax now. The plan has worked. We've ended the week in profit. What's better than ending a week in profit? That's just pretty much every trader's goal is to make profit. And if we've ended the week in profit, that's perfect. And yeah, I think this was literally because I take less trades now. 1 to 3 trades probably per week. Some days you have better opportunities where, let's say, a couple of your pairs line up perfectly and you get good entries. You might get scale-ins, but technically it counts as one trade. But I'd say the turning point was when I just started realizing that I don't need to get rich quick. At the time I was only 16, and this was when I realized, you know, it's not worth risking everything now. At a chance you get rich quick from just one trade. It's better to just slowly build up the account, build up the consistency, so then long term the growth just comes and comes and comes, and then you get rich in the long term. Have you ever been in balanced drawdown in your funded account? Well, yeah, the first trades I took on the FTMO, I was in drawdown, you know, a couple percent in drawdown, and you just got to think, I know my strategy works, I know that there won't be many losing trades, and then the next trade was a winner, made back all the losses, passed the challenge, perfect. And a lot of the times people will get in drawdown and start revenge trading. Worst thing to do. Your mind is all over the place. You're not in the right state of mind to actually be placing trades, and this is where a lot of traders actually go wrong. But yeah, obviously every trader has experienced drawdown, so I have too. Where can I learn your trading strategy? If you want to learn, link in the description to my mentorship. This is where I do weekly Zoom calls, have a private Discord for the mentorship members. There's every trade I take, I pretty much break down on a video, explain it all for the members, and yeah, link in the description. Are there any other young traders that inspire you? I don't really watch many traders. You know, I used to at the start, probably like 2 years ago. I used to watch a lot of YouTube, but you know, there's a few traders which I learned a lot from, and there's a lot of traders which at the start I thought were good traders, and obviously they get exposed. But that's why I try to be transparent. That's why I try and show the wins, the losses, for everyone to see. You know, I do the weekly breakdowns. I didn't do one last week because I wasn't actually at home. I wasn't here in the setup. I didn't have my camera. I didn't have my PC, so I couldn't do the weekly breakdown. But last week we finished at 5% profit. So if you see there, that is the year so far. So you see we started January 18.5%, February 19.6%, and March we are up 2% profit. So, you know, very, very good start to the year, making almost 40%. Yeah, just under 40% in 3 months from the gold signals group. But yeah, that's why I try and be realistic. Do you just set limit orders, or do you wait for low time frame confirmations? I don't go onto the lower time frames. I know a lot of people do, but I just don't really think, you know, from my testing, that's not how I personally trade. I use one time frame, stick to that one time frame, enter on it, target a trade on it, enter my stop loss on it, on that one time frame only. And this is how I've managed to make all my profit. You know, I used to go down, I used to trade like on a 1 minute, I just lose money. The win rate is terrible, so that's why I stick to one time frame. You know, you've got the 15, 30, 1 hour, they're good time frames to use. If you're looking for longer trades, you know, 4 hours, perfect. But yeah, those are the ones I actually use. I don't go down to like 5 minute, the 1 minute, the 30 second. I just don't think there's any point. But yeah, guys, I hope you did enjoy this little Q&A video. And if you have any more questions, just leave them in the comments down below, or send me a DM on Instagram. There is the account. And if you did enjoy, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.